Antonio.
Hi, Gert. How are you?
Great.
How you
How
doing?
are you?
Yeah, fine.
Yes. So we're trying out the new Hangout features.
Yeah, I've checked that on Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah, it's funny. We've mentioned about screen sharing and all that
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. It's better we come up with some better ideas so that we can see if they can put them on.
So, what have you been up to this week? Something cool and interesting?
Uh, yeah, sort of the like a present or the gift present. I bought some samples and some plugins. I've been trying them for some while. Think it's a nice gift from me to me, sort of.
So, which ones did you get?
Samples I got the Sonic Couture, the one they are doing that contest, I think. Yeah.
Which one is that again? Trying to remember it.
Morpheus.
Oh yeah, you like it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's with the alpha. It's everything very promising. I don't know. I have to think of or doing some piece with it, or
right.
But I like it very much. Yeah. Mainly, I love everything that Sonic Couture's puts their magic fingers on. Yeah, sort
they've
of.
done great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very tempting to buy everything they do, but it's just not possible.
Yes, absolutely. One of the things haunting me by now, I have a lot of hardware equipment, sound modules, keyboards. Sometime I think I have to start selling them and pass that to sample libraries or
right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think many people are doing this, but right now.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? It's just.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and clear the studio up a little bit, so yeah, make some space. Yeah, less wires, less confusion. It's not easy to bring analog equipment to the stage and to connect that all up. It reminds me what John's
experiences.
Yeah, it's sort of what he tells on the site.
Right. Yeah, he did quite a bit of that when he was gigging with his band. Yeah. Yeah. He wanted to be here today, but he sadly couldn't make it. He'll be there next week.
Okay. I think it will be very, very nice of him.
It's not easy to juggle meetings and company stuff because I'm not working on Monday, so this is actually my free day, so I've got time to do it.
Yeah, me also sort of. I normally play Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and I take Monday off, so it's excellent to be around this hangout.
It seems it's just the two of us for now.
Yeah. I make it. I've still having lunch, but I've make it.
Yeah, they're just busy. I think that Trachika is in some kind of a conference or something.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, you got a third one. Oh, there she is. Hey, Trachika, I thought you were away. Was just saying.
Hi.
I think she's got a conference. So I watched quite a bit of that gig. It looks nice.
Yeah, I only watched 5 minutes. Time is. It's a long video, so we have to focus a bit. But I like that 5 minutes I've watched. Yeah.
Which 5 minutes did you watch? Beginning or middle?
The beginning.
I fast forwarded until you started. You took the half in the end.
Yeah. I had some problems. I wasn't loud enough compared to the rest of the band.
Right.
I have to change that.
It's very difficult without a sound engineer present when you do a band gig.
Yeah, we had a sound engineer, but the problem is the guy at the guitar, he was comparably a lot louder when we started.
That's what guitar players do.
Yeah, I have to learn that. So next time I know.
Yeah, it's a habit. Almost every guitar player is like just louder. Then if you've got several guitar players in the band, it's interesting.
Do you speak from experience, Kurt? In any way or so?
No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so you seem to have enjoyed it. I saw your tweets saying that it's quite addictive playing to an audience. It is.
It is.
Yeah, by now I think I experience a lot of different audiences, from the babies, 2, 3-year children, 4, 10, I don't know. Yesterday I was doing some kind of workshop where they get to play with the tenori, with other instruments, and it's sedating to play live and to share our music, our ideas, or the way we express musically. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, concerts is what I think I do music for. It would just not be possible without any audience. It's
yeah.
Sharing the music. Mm-hmm. That's
why it's okay.
Like getting also on Second Live now and video concerts. It's kind of the best of both worlds in some aspects, because the smaller gigs, they take so much time to just bring all gear. Sometimes you have to drive an hour and a half, get somewhere, set it all up, play an hour and a half, take it all down, go back, and for an hour and a half, it's a lot of effort, and
it's not easy.
And if it's a small gig with like 20-30 people, then sometimes it makes you wonder if it's really worth it. There's also a lot of people that just don't come because it's a small gig and they say don't really know what it's gonna be like, so they don't want to drive out and spend the gas money, because gas has become so expensive nowadays. And
Also.
So I think these remote concerts is actually quite a nice thing.
Best of many worlds. Yeah. And you get to stay home.
Right, yeah. But still, standing on a stage when 300 people, that's still something else. It's like, okay,
absolutely.
Don't want to trade that in for anything else.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you get 200 to 300 people, yes, probably. I'll have to work at that.
Yeah, it's very rare, though. It's once every year or something.
Yeah. And when it's outdoors, even better. I think.
Yeah, but the sound is much more difficult then. You really have to have someone that knows what he does.
Yeah.
So, Dachika, any news? Any cool stuff you've been doing after the gig?
I finally tried my Dupfer. I have it here. My little analog synth.
Yeah, it's the dark energy.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, you see it here?
Yeah. It's
and I've connected it to my Eigenharp, and now I'm going to play around. Let's see if I can.
It's getting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of analog synth is that?
It's from Deufer. It's from Deufer, I think. German.
Oops.
Oops.
Now it goes.
Yeah.
It's just a simple analog synth.
A couple of oscillators, filter, yeah.
And so, what has it got MIDI in, or?
1 moment.
Yes, it has MIDI in.
Sorry. Okay, now yes, it has MIDI in. You see it here. It has MIDI in.
All right.
It has also, you have the CV stuff and one CV out, which you can connect to here. You have a lot of more connectors, and you have an audio in somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, you have an audio in, so you can use it either with MIDI, or you can use it for processing audio.
Oh yeah.
And it's really fun because actually it's pretty easy to set up. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, we can.
And I just like it that it's more or less analog sound from that one.
Yep.
Analog sound from the Eigenharp. And I'll use it for a gig sometime. Me and the Dupfer and the Eigenharp. So, lots of things to play with.
Yeah, it's very fun to bring the analog synths to the Eigenharp. Mike, I think, has done some with the Voyager. I still haven't the time to bring mine. I have a Quark MS-20. You can patch it up to also some Moog. Over there. But it takes time.
Yes.
I like very much the Oberheims. I have an expander too, but it does really takes time.
Yeah. What I like is actually it's pretty small, so it doesn't look like much. And I think it's funny if you maybe with a Mac Mini use the Eigenharp, the Mac Mini, and this one, and have some fun at more or less a really portable gig.
Right, you only need electricity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something I still dream of, an Eigenharp Alpha that runs out of laptop battery power, but it's just not possible due to the lights. Hey, Mike.
Hey, sorry to be late to the party. We have visitors.
Oh, it's
how are you doing?
Great. Yourselves?
Great.
Yeah. Also,
Drahika was showing off her new Doppler Dark Energy analog synth that she hooked up to the Eigenharp.
Go for it.
She just did, but she.
Oh, okay. So that's what I missed. Thank you for telling me what I missed.
Hang on, let me. This is the little thingy.
It's this one.
Screen sharing now.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
And I just took the. It's 2. And the sometimes it doesn't work thing.
Which knob is it?
Oh, naturally it doesn't work. If the Eigenharp doesn't give out MIDI, can't work. It's a little bit loud, huh? Okay, so.
Neat.
And this is just for fun. You see, this one is, I think you can even see probably the blue lights somewhere.
Yeah.
You see the blue lights? That's the MIDI in. Yeah, that's just fun stuff I'm doing. And now I have to find out how the Dupper works.
Sure.
One of the things that I've stayed away of is analog synthesis with the Eigenharp, because I just can't imagine the hole that I'm opening up and I'm falling into.
Oh, come on.
Time sink.
Yeah, a little bit. Join CV and you got a universe of it.
You did a bit with that, didn't you, Mike, with your moves?
Well, I've got a Voyager and I use the Fogers a bit.
Yeah.
But the Voyager's easy compared to most of the analog stuff.
Yeah, because you don't have many patch cables and stuff like that. It's just one synth that...
Well, you actually can have a lot of patch cables, but at least you can get started with a whole pile of presets.
Right.
Okay.
So it's more tweaking than creating. So I see everybody here is happy with their Eigenharp Alpha and the general level of documentation.
Oh my god. Here it goes.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
I have to tell you that I was quite angry.
Yeah, I imagine.
I saw these things coming out, and
again.
Well, it's their opinion is all very interesting to know what people think, of course. But
I don't know what people does want to make with the Alpha. I don't know. They barely sometimes can even play with the sounds, and they start to know how it's patched up, or I don't think. It drives me crazy also to see that's everything. You know.
Yeah, I was contemplating, but I didn't have time today. I had other stuff to do, but I was contemplating doing just a setup with one big keyboard, just sending out MIDI out through a MIDI converter, and that's it. It's just a couple of agents.
Probably you would help a lot of people.
And
actually, that's not that bad an idea.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing it. I just didn't get around to it. I'll probably do it tomorrow morning or the day after. Just saying, well, if you really just want to send out MIDI, here's a huge MIDI keyboard, and go ahead.
Of course, you do realize it better send out MIDI through that little plug on the back of the base station, eh?
Ooh, my God, that's. I imagine John's a big stone in the shoe.
Well, it's still planned.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I wasn't trying to argue for it. I just think it's sort of, okay, if it does it, that's fine. But there's 7 other ways to do it.
Yeah.
It will go out. It has to go through the computer anyway. So.
I understand John's first approach about that. So I understand and move on. No problem.
I just appreciate the investment he's made in both financially for sure, but also just intellectually. I mean, this thing's an amazing device.
Yeah, well, I said in a presentation that we did for the British Audio Engineering Society a couple of months ago, and he explained a whole bunch of the details. Yeah, you were there. That I wasn't aware of, about how these keys are constructed. It's just so amazing that it's all optical based. And
yeah, it's really cool.
This whole mechanism, when he drew it out in the slides, you're like, oh my god, and that's there for every key.
Yeah.
400 nanometers. I just say 400 nanometers.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I think the reaction of Roger Lynn to the pricing of these things was priceless at your presentation in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that?
But he repeatedly said it to me afterwards, because afterwards I went to his house and he played on it together with his wife, who's a very good cello player, and he was even more amazed after that, because he actually was able to try it out himself, and his wife was in a matter, like, it took her 15 minutes before she started playing some basic cello pieces on it.
Yeah.
Just configured it in fifth intervals and put on the cello sound, and that's it, and she was off with it. And she just said, give me a little bit less vibrato so that it feels more like on the regular strings, and just tweaked it, and that's it, she was off. Yeah.
Well, I tried using the JSN tab converter to do the Bach cello suite. And it actually gave some interesting choices of fingering.
Really?
When I finish tidying up the document, I'll post it somewhere. What's the easiest way, if you're interested, for you guys to get it?
You can put it on Eigenzone or...
Eigenzone, I think.
The wiki.
Okay, well, it's just text anyway.
Yeah, quite a bunch of formats. If it's a screenshot, you can put it on there also.
You know what? It's tab. It's ASCII, right?
Right, yeah. Well, there's a pre-format function that allows you to just keep it as it is. So.
Okay, well, so you're hesitant to delve into analog, and now you're getting me to try and do a wiki. I hope I don't screw it up too bad.
Come on, it isn't too hard.
I don't know. I guess if I can get MIDI out of an Eigenharp, I can probably put a text file in a wiki, huh?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you just learn how to, the structure of the Eigenharp works, I'm pretty sure you can edit a wiki.
So
that was a great video you posted of your performance. It went really well, eh?
Yeah, it had. I mean, from my point of view, it had some problem because I was too. I wasn't loud enough, but it went well. Yeah, we made it through without major accidents.
Yeah.
I think
people liked it, and so
in the summer you just said I'm buying an Eigenharp Alpha, and 2.5 months later I'm stepping on stage with it, no matter what. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
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 That's impressive.
I pretty had doubts on my judgment the day before, but the day of the concert, I really had doubts if I'm sane. But yeah. I mean, I had a good backup. I mean, we were 4 people. I wasn't alone, so I knew that if anything happens, there is 3 other people there who can take the load.
Yeah, there won't be silence, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But it was pretty adrenaline pumping. I needed around 3 hours to come down from my high.
Oh yeah. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Got a sip of coffee here.
It's still morning at this end of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Say, hey Antonio, that piece that you... No, he's not. He can't hear us.
Sorry, I'm hearing.
The music that you composed for In Castello, have you recorded it somewhere?
It went. It didn't. I didn't get the chance to record all my performance. I only played 15 minutes live. The rest I composed and it was recorded, so the dancers could dance. But it didn't get recorded. I have a bunch of takes from very friends, but also I didn't like them that much. I came up with that 3 minutes, I think.
But that video is
awesome.
That video is awesome.
Yeah.
But I like the music a lot, so I just wanted to know if you had it posted somewhere.
Well, I'm running on batteries here, sir. Just me. Sorry, I was running on batteries. I tried to just show what the sounds I was pretending to use, and I sort of showing the capabilities of the Alpha. That was not my first intention, but it came out that way. I think the audience was amazed by looking at it, really understood what I was doing. I used the arranger, the 2 arrangers, with the percussive sounds.
Right. Yeah.
And mainly I change 2 or 3 sounds in between the splits, and it was amazing to play that way. But I bring the MacBook and the Mac Mini, so I didn't get that much problem with the huge plugins. It was very fun to play.
I like that shot when you see those 2 kids in their white, dresses. They just walk past you and you follow them. And like, oh, that's a really nice shot with the lights. And
yeah. Nice. Yeah, just did something like that, and it's wonderful. Yeah.
Well, I think too it really underlined that point that John made in one of his interviews about getting electronic musicians into the performance and towards the focus on the stage.
Yeah.
Which really is, otherwise I've never seen it done with any other electronic music piece of equipment.
Right.
Yeah, that's maybe the second most amazing thing he got. The first is the instrument, and I remember playing the keyboards, and we are behind that instrument, and it's totally different. What we can say to the audience with this. You can hear it?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the sound you were using.
No. This is Morpheus. No. I was using the other one from Sonic Couture also. What? I'm not running that setup. This has only one.
No problem.
Yep. I'm just using one split here. This is Morpheus. It's the first reset. I haven't played much with it yet. I have to see whether I can.
That's a realistic sound. Someone's doorbell. Yes. Oh, what was I thinking? I was going to talk about something. Oh yeah, I'm pretty glad that I spent a large part of last week figuring out a bug that was reported a few times about Eigenharp crashing when closing some plugins. And
I've mentioned that, and Larry, I think. Yeah.
Ended up being something really deep down in the framework that we're using. It's like 10 layers down, and I think it will really make a huge difference in terms of stability when you're configuring things, because
nice.
It was actually creating memory corruption underneath us without us noticing. So.
Okay, I mentioned that with the plugins from Maple, I think, but I don't use that. But it does crash the.
Yeah, but it's fixed now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fixed now. And I've been kind of stressing it this weekend by showing and hiding stuff and adding as much plugins as I could. And sometimes I got it to crash before, but I wasn't able anymore now. So.
Okay.
So that's in the 9 files that I downloaded today.
Yes, it's these little things. It's just 2-3 lines. They really make a big difference. But they're deep down in the underlying code, so it took a while to find that.
Okay.
Haven't yet had time to look at what you checked in. I just compiled it and hoped it worked.
It's been released afterwards, so it works.
Which release is it?
1.3.30 and 1.4.6.
Oh, okay, 30. Oh, that was what was in 30. Okay.
Yes, it's quite important for stability. Yeah, that's took a long time.
Many people, I think, many people doesn't get to read what changes. For me, it's the first thing I do. Then I install it, no matter what. But not many people read what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah, although I think those release notes said something like stability improvement.
No. It specifically said about the hiding and the showing of the AUs and the VSTs.
Oh, okay. Clearly I didn't read it.
we do make a big point about trying to be specific in the release notes, because when you're upgrading and you have a running system, you really want to know if you're gonna take the risk of upgrading, which is always a risk.
But I think the last comment is right. It gets back to the earlier conversation about, well, maybe you should actually read something. And one of you, I think, posted essentially that response. It's sort of, there was some question asked on the forum, and the answer sort of was, well, why don't you read this, and then you could read this, and then you can read this.
Right. I know.
It was quite...
Yeah. But that's people don't have a lot of time. People are used to using the same things over and over again, and kind of have this approach of wanting to get that for each piece of equipment that they use. Which personally I find a bit strange for a new instrument that that's supposed to be radically different. Trying to expect it to be exactly the same is.
That, I think, is fundamentally it. It's sort of they're driven towards the device because it's new.
Right.
But when they actually get there, it's sort of like, oh damn, this is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And probably at the first difficulty, it gets put away. I don't know.
Which is maybe not a disaster if it's a Pico, but if it's an Alpha, I can see somebody feeling a little weird.
I don't know. One of the two.
So yeah, John, I always said it to Antonio, John wanted to be here today, but he sadly was called away to a meeting quite at the last minute. But he said to apologize on his behalf and try to make it to one of the next Hangouts. So.
Yeah, well, these have gone really well, and I see Google is adding broadcast.
Yes, I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. Although now they're inviting people. Like you have to be invited.
Right, yeah. But it will be open in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to record also directly inside the Hangout interface, which will be nice. I don't have to do this whole clutch of going out of a live stream and whatnot.
Gee, we could have an international Eigenharp orchestra hangout.
Yes! Let's do that.
Technologically wise, it's quite difficult though with the latency. It's making sure you play together.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe it is. It would be interesting to see if it actually is difficult.
Well, there is. I don't know if you guys seen that Reaper at one time. That the DAW, they created some kind of a protocol called Ninjam, and they worked around that latency in structuring the jams by always offsetting everything by a measure. So you always get what someone else is playing and measure later. So you say which tempo you're playing, and you know where you are because you know it's one measure later. So they've got some buffer to work with the latency.
Yeah.
And I've never tried it though, but it sounded interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to make a point of not listening.
Maybe if it's something just very conceptual, or maybe it works, or just some sound sculpting, or
yeah,
I don't know.
Something atmospheric, perhaps.
Yeah, yes, something like that.
But I thought
I've been at a concert.
Started it off online jamming somewhere.
I've been on a performance of a noise orchestra, where I think one guy was sitting beside me in Zurich. Some guys were at Budapest, some were in Australia, and some were in America. But it was a noise orchestra, so it worked.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Well, we can
Also
see what the
there, the
latency
fun
is
thing
like.
where
What key are you in, Antonio, now?
C, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm in C also. So.
Yeah. Maybe it is.
lot to evaluate.
Yeah, it's certainly not in sync. But one interesting challenge would be devise a piece of music where it doesn't matter if it's not in sync.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. We could come up
Or
with something.
where we have where it's more not with each other, but dialogue. So that
works.
one after the other, it's always a short answer on an answer.
It's a good idea.
And so it wouldn't have to be in sync because
Yeah, and you could have just some background piece so that everybody has roughly the same amount out from that background piece, which was either slow or very atmospheric.
Yeah.
Just so you don't run into silence.
But there is this site, e-jamming. They apparently do that. You can jam with up to 4 musicians. What else? I think they've been around for a while though, so if they still exist, I suppose it should work. Try it out. It's a 30-day free trial. I'll sign up for it later. See what it does.
He who comes late must leave early. Sorry, my folk are returning, but
okay.
See you next time. Next week.
Yes. Bye, Mike.
Okay.
Next week.
Bye,
Take
Mike.
care. Yep. Bye.
Can I ask you something? Do you actually do you put the output directly into the Mac, or how do you put the Eigenharp output out? I'm sure somebody explained that already, but just give me a quick...
It depends
No.
on the infrastructure that
No.
you have.
Yeah. Mainly you have to do a submix or a send mix different from what you're hearing. I'm using a mixing desk, but
Okay.
it's possible to do it with the audio card. I think with the RM I do a submix and it worked. Sort of.
Yeah, I do
But
it
it's
with
not
my
easy.
audio interface also, yeah.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah. But it's not.
Okay. You use the
not-
audio interface to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not easy. I think with a second machine probably makes it easier. My alpha, not sure. I'm on the iMac and Google Plus it's on the MacBook. So I don't know if it helps.
Okay.
Mixing different signals, that is.
The big problem is hearing yourself play and hearing Google Hangout at the same time.
Yes.
Without that feeding
That's
back.
what I did this for.
Yeah.
Right.
I think best way is to try with someone who can hear you. I tried to do that with a neighbor, I think, but it's not easy either.
Okay.
I think with Soundflower you should be able to do something without actually going out to an external device.
I tried, but I didn't get it.
I tried the Soundflower way too, but this didn't work for me. I couldn't mix it. So, yeah, okay. Audio device. Figure that out.
Yeah, I don't know what the capabilities of the others are, but I've got metric halo devices, and they kind of allow you, like, they send audio back and forth digitally. So it's not only, so they're kind of bidirectional, so you can send audio to it, and then mixed with other audio and get it back in the computer and reuse it in the software.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Not all audio interfaces allow you to do that. So if they don't allow you to do that, it would probably not help you much.
Yep.
Might as well get a regular cheap mixer that mixes your audio signals together in analog and then get it back in.
Yeah.
It's probably just as good. Certainly for these kind of things.
I have this thing called Motu MK3 Travelo thingy, which I haven't figured out yet. This should be able to do that, yeah?
I don't know what the capabilities of the Motu are.
I think so.
Probably, yes.
It's not that low-end audio interface, so...
It has some in and it has some out. Somehow you have to mix it.
Yeah, the thing is, can you get it back to the computer? That's the real kicker.
Yeah, probably, yes.
Because that means that it has DSP on board that is able to do the mixing. But it seems to.
Yeah.
It says mixing.
It has DSP.
Okay. And it should be able to do it with that?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just curious. It's just still a strange land to me.
It's interesting though once you start getting into it, because you can do so much with an external audio interface in terms of signal processing, and also for your live gigs. It's very easy to work with if you do that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it seems that not as many people as last time.
Yeah, I've also said this on the forum that people don't have the time, or I don't know.
It's maybe not appropriate for a lot of people either. I just picked up this time a couple of weeks ago, but it worked last time. Last week there was a lot of people, which is cool.
Yes.
I will also I will not be coming next 2 times because I'm on holiday.
Are you going somewhere in particular?
Corsica.
Oh, cool. I've always wanted to go there.
2 weeks holiday.
Awesome.
Okay.
Not without gadgets, but with less gadgets.
But with electricity.
Yes.
Yeah, said you don't have a Pico, you could go on with ideas about.
I
you
have a Pico.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe I'll take it with me.
Yes.
I also, at the end of October, I have to go to Berlin, and I already have at least one person who wants a demonstration of the Pico. So.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
I'll have to demonstrate it.
Yeah.
Okay, they would rather have a demonstration of the Alpha, but I'm not taking the Alpha to Berlin.
Yes, with the Pico you won't notice that you've got it with you, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Most fun anyway is the base station, which they register as a laptop nowadays.
What do you mean?
I had, when I came from London, the Alpha wasn't actually a problem. They put a fragile sticker on it and it was okay, and they had the special, I couldn't put it in this special, I don't know, they had the special...
compartment for it.
Yeah, compartment for it. But I had the base station naturally in my baggage. And I had to go to security, and I took my laptop out and put it there. And then they found the base station, and they asked me what it was. And it was actually not a laptop. So he looked at it very critical. And then I told him, this is audio. You know, it's audio. It's written on it. Yeah. So maybe this is something you can do. You could put a real big, on the base station. So in production, audio, anything.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, it's not doing any bombs or something.
Yeah. No, it's always curious to travel with this. I didn't travel with the Alpha, only with the Pico, and people just go, "What is this?" It's very funny.
Yes. Yeah, I was very stressed when I traveled with my Alpha.
With your, yeah.
They really succeeded in damaging the case, which is frustrating. It's,
yeah.
Even though it was covered with big sticker and stuff like that, they still...
Yes.
Yeah. It always makes me wonder. It's like, when I do my job, I'm careful with the stuff that I do. It's like, you know, if everyone would be careful with their, you know, the stuff they put their hands on, they wouldn't damage things. But it's a strange concept to me. How many things are damaged in airport transport?
Yeah, but
Did you guys see this video clip of the guy? His guitar got broken during.
No.
There's this guy. What's it called again? Taylor guitar playing.
I think I have seen it once.
Yeah, this one is. We can't watch any videos anymore in the one with Hangouts. That's one restriction. It's gonna come back.
Is it not on share screen and you put it on? No.
So this is a musician, and he threatened at one time that if they didn't make this right, that he would write 3 songs about this experience and record a video about it each time, a video clip. So he actually wrote 3 songs and produced 3 videos, and it got a huge success. He kind of made a little bit of a career out of it because Taylor wanted to represent Taylor and stuff like that. So he got a couple of guitars out of it.
Yeah, nice.
Good.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, it's quite a good video.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you phone in beforehand? When you go, I phoned when I traveled with the Alpha. I phoned in beforehand, and maybe me being small and female helps.
Maybe, I don't know. It was Air France, and I phoned 2 times. And first I sent an email and got no reply. Then I phoned first time and then phoned again. And each time they said to me, you have to talk about it when you're there. We can't help you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was there, then she said, no, you should have talked about it before. So, but I talked about it before.
Oh my God. Yeah. Only way is to put it inside a flight case, a hard flight case.
Yeah, but you can't.
Wood.
Yeah. I can't pick it up.
That's one problem, yeah. Now, when I ship either lights or sound, it's always flight case. I don't think otherwise, or I get in trouble. Yeah. Let's see if when it will happen with the Alpha. But I'll do a case. I don't mind doing a case. Because it's too risky.
But what I find strange, though, is that it actually is much better suited to the overhead bin than a guitar. Because I measured it, and I measured the size of the overhead bin, and you can actually just slide it in horizontally and push it in the back. Then you can still put other stuff in front of it. So I tried to explain that to them, but they didn't want to listen. It's like, you almost lose no space, and my instrument is protected. No, they didn't want to hear about that.
Yeah.
Well, the reason is because it's not high. You know? The case is only that high, so you can go in the back. While a guitar case, it's much higher, and it doesn't. You
much higher.
To put it straight vertically. So anyway. Okay.
Okay.
So, well, if you guys don't have anything else you want to talk about, can maybe...
I didn't plan anything. Yeah, didn't plan anything. One of the things I've still thinking about, Darhika, 5 minutes of sampling. I would like to pursue that, but don't have the strength or... But that could be a nice thing to talk about. Every one of us sort of dive into, I don't know, 5 minutes of the arranger and what we come up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the arranger is something that I personally don't use that much, so I'm very interested in seeing what you guys do with it.
Yeah. I've done some things with it. I like it very much. I'm very into step sequencers and sort of that thing. Yeah.
I just tested it, and it always does strange things. I can't really understand why it does it, and then I'm scared and stop again.
I think it's one of the ways of come up with sequencing. I don't know.
Did you put your own sounds in there?
I didn't try, but I think it's not difficult. Gerd, I think, could do that very easily.
No, it's actually, it uses, what is it, Audio Unit 4 and Sampler 4.
Yeah, it's close,
you've loaded
close
on
to
Audio
that.
Unit 4 or Sampler 4 will be played by the arrangers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then basically it's a grid, so this is time moving, and these are the notes going up. So it starts from C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, and then you can just pan around. So if you've got notes here, and then you can pan upwards. So this means that you can access higher notes, and you can pan downwards and access lower notes. That's basically the idea, and you can do that in real time while it's playing. I don't have any sound loaded into it now.
I don't think I also have anything.
So which one has Audio Unit 4? The 1 or the 2?
I think it's the second one.
It's the second one.
Second one.
Or
okay.
You'll have to try it out. I can't remember. It might have been reversed though. I think I saw something about it being reversed. But I cleared out those sounds, I think, in this setup. Oh. So the first one is Audio Unit and the second one is the Sampler.
Okay.
And so there is one key that allows you to snap back to 0 when you get lost. You've got this middle key in the first row. This middle key kind of, so when you start panning around and this can go up and down also. If you don't know where you are anymore, you press on this middle key on the first row, it snaps back to the origin.
Yeah. And the other next to it erases everything.
Yeah, the double end, double tap.
Yeah, double tap.
And then you've got this one that allows you to kind of change the length.
Yeah, and reverse the order. Yeah, that's very cool. I think with stage it gets a really easier also. I did make some tabs for stage about the arranger before the Eigenharp ones come out, but this one it's okay, and it's very easy. I could show you next week. I think I could show something. You're not there. Some I've done with the arranger.
Yeah. Okay, next week I'm not here.
Yeah. No
but problem. I can look at that
afterwards.
Yeah. No, I figured out the basics of the stuff. Then I press a key and get lost, and it does something funny.
Yeah. I could see, or Gerd, maybe even easier, to connect one of the arrangers with the MIDI out. Maybe you can use it with the dark energy. It's very it's very fun to use. Maybe you do it in like 2 minutes, Gerd.
I have to look stuff up also.
Yeah, no problem.
this is something that I really like, is how stage is connected to the Eigenharp. So if you see the stage window here, and I'm moving the endpoint, and it updated in stage also.
Yes, yes.
So it's put the endpoint of the arranger 2 to 9. And I put it later, it put it to 15. You can actually use stage as something that visualizes what you're doing.
What's going on?
Yes.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
So your stage is definitely helping for that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, there's still a lot to learn. I mean, I just concentrated on the stuff I needed for now, and now I'm going to get into other stuff too.
Some more, yeah.
There's something to know. I realize that probably not everyone knows that, but the tabs in stage. Let me share that because I had someone writing me an email about that. So when you know that when you upgrade a setup in EigenD and you have not modified any of the connections of the agents, then it will, for next release, automatically update the setup also with the new features.
Yeah,
right?
what's going on, yeah.
But it doesn't update the stage tabs because obviously you can edit stage tabs, right? You can move the layout of everything around, right? You can move this.
Yeah.
You can change it and put other widgets on it from other pieces of the EigenD system. But one thing you can do though is there is this. Let me see if I can get it up there. You see this? No,
you're talking maybe about the ones made for the iPhone or the iPad?
No, hang on.
No.
What I wanted to do is let me try this differently. Share screen. Seems it has
on
to be
on the iPad.
I can't share a selection of my
screen.
It has to be.
There are some of the tabs that don't show up. They are made for the iPhone or the iPad.
Let's see what that looks like. So you guys see yourself now.
Yeah,
and here at the top there is in the file menu, you can export all the tabs.
Yes,
and when you do that, if you do that with the factory setup, then you can afterwards import them again in your own setup.
Yeah.
So if you want to use new layouts that we made in newer versions of the setups, then you can just pull them in like that. So what you were saying, Antonio, is let me see if I can show that.
The ones that sort of hiding. Yeah.
So there is if you go into so you're in the edit mode, so you unlock the lock here, right? And then if you go to edit,
preferences,
click on the background, you can edit the properties of that stage tab.
Yeah.
And then you can actually select which aspect ratio it's been designed for, and based on that it will show on the device. So if you create one for the iPad, it will show on the iPad. If you create one on the iPhone, it will show on the iPhone. But on the desktop version, it always shows all the tabs, which is why you've got these ones here at the end, which show the actual iPhone tabs. But you can go to the preferences also if you want to, and
to see that one.
Say that it doesn't have to show that one. So let me see.
Yep.
So now it doesn't show those, it only shows the ones. Yeah, it doesn't show the iPhone ones that are lower here normally. And that's also something you can do on the iOS tool. You can say which ones you want to see and which you don't
want to see. Yeah.
So, which is quite handy because you don't want to see this on your iPhone. You'll not be able to use it.
Yeah, that's when some issues I talked to, I don't know, but it came out nicely this way.
So it's a shame you can't share a selection from the screen. Because just one window, and if you've got a window that uses several windows, you don't see the other windows.
Okay.
It has to be all or nothing.
So what I wanted to show still was, let's see if I can find it. So when you're in, I'm gonna do this in 2 steps. So when you're in stage, you've got this tool here, this plus tool, that allows you to add your own components. And then when you've got, let's say, this split, I've got some space here. So you've got empty space here. You'll see another window pop up that I'll share now, which is the agent window.
Yes.
And the agent window is actually everything that's running inside EigenD with tooltips that document what everything does. It's a good way to introspect your setup also.
Yeah, and to learn.
And then you can just take something, just a talker. Talkers are tied to keys, so the key, the actual physical key, and you can just take it and drag it on stage. And then when you've dragged it, then see it added this activate button here, which actually allows you to activate a specific talker or anything you like. So you can totally build this yourself, but it's a nice way to figure out how your setup works and what's possible to do with it. Hey, John.
John.
Hi, guys.
You made it.
Hi, John.
Very nice to see you all.
It's a slow day today. Mike was here earlier, but he had to go because he had some visitors. And I was just showing off some of the things we could do with stage.
Yeah, all the tabs and the iPhone and the iPad.
That's cool.
So how did the meeting go? It's okay?
Oh, it was choosing curtains. It wasn't the most exciting for a house that we're letting. So it's not my idea of the best house in the whole world.
So yes, we were actually almost at the end of the hangout. Just going over small things that still wanted to talk about. We did some demo of the arrangers, but
we could possibly do a preview in next week or the week after of Workbench.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah, true Hangout. Yeah, that was
cool. What do you think, Kurt?
Yeah. Well, what I was thinking of doing is I'm building a setup in the next 2 weeks, a few setups with Workbench, and then maybe showing them those setups and showing how you can modify them. And
yeah, that's a cool idea. I mean, it's very experimental at the moment, guys, so it's not production ready, but it might be kind of interesting for you to see.
Well, it's quite far along, I'd say.
Oh yeah, well, it's been a long while in development. So
what I was thinking also is maybe create a setup from scratch, a very simple one, just using the Workbench.
That's probably quite a nice idea with just one key group and one instrument. And,
yeah, I'll work a bit on that, and let's say in 2 weeks or something like. Let's say 3 weeks, because Drachika is away for 2 weeks, so she will not be here. And I think she really wants to be there for that.
That would be cool.
So let's make that in 3 weeks, and then we've got a bit of time to clean that up, so that it's
and
nice
that'll give Alistair the heebie-jeebies for 3 weeks as well. He can panic for a while. So.
And then you can make a big announcement that we will show it, that we probably have more people in the Hangout.
Yes.
That may happen, yeah. Can we do a screen? Can you share a screen on this?
Yes,
is that possible?
That's a new feature that they just opened this week.
I'm
just
cool.
going to do that.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yep.
So,
that works remarkably well.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's your screen, John? No,
that's my screen.
No.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
You can even share documents and stuff like that, and it's quite well done.
Did somebody test out the Sketchpad?
No, I did it with myself.
Okay.
Let me see. This is the
It wants my email address. What?
So I'm sketching now. It's very geeky.
So I'm guessing that since everybody's wearing headphones,
triangle.
Yes.
It's a triangle, isn't it?
Yes. You guessed it.
Yes.
You're able to recognize basic geometry.
It's really interactive here.
Can you modify that?
Yeah, I'm trying. Okay.
Okay, I get it now.
All right. Okay, and I can move your stuff around also.
Yeah.
No, I want it there. It's better there, and that side.
Now you can start scribbling around.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm not going to record that any further because people on
it's a little bit
will
slow.
be really boring.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So.
well, kids are going to get home in a couple of minutes, so I'll have to sign off now.
Okay.
In 3 weeks.
Yes.
See you in 3 weeks.
I'll see you next week,
Yeah.
Antonio.
Okay.
Bye, John. See you tomorrow morning.
Cool.
Bye.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Yep. Bye.
Yep, bye.
Bye, John.